Hi everyone. So today's reading is what are you afraid of? So that's the question that came um, today. So we have three piles or three cards and three crystals. We have the black kyanite, we have the black tourmaline, or not tourmaline, this is the black obsidian, sorry, and then we have the black tourmaline. So I'm going to open the energy and let you pick your cards, crystals, however you pick, and then we're going to go from there. All right, if you haven't picked your card yet, please pause the video and do so. But I'm going to get started with my card number one. So my pile number one is card number one. You picked the black kyanite crystal, which is useful for balancing chakras and for protection, of course, like many of the black crystals are. So let's see. What are you afraid of? Oh, interesting. Naked before the stars. So that tells me that you're afraid of the spirit world knowing everything that you do, seeing everything that you do, and you're feeling some shame around some of the things that you've done. You know, that you're, yeah, that you're imperfect. You're afraid of being imperfect, okay? So, yeah. So you're afraid of being imperfect. That's what this card is telling me. You know, because if someone sees you, all of you, right? Whether it's the spirit world or a physical person, when they see all of you, they're going to see your imperfections. And that's what scares you, okay? That's what this card is saying. So let's see what your guides want to say to you about that. Okay. All right. It's a burden. You're carrying this burden, right? This burden of wanting to be perfect. Yeah. They're recognizing that you're carrying this burden of wanting to be perfect and being fearful of being imperfect. So, and you may have done a lot of work on this already. Like I've said before, everything's in layers, right? It's like peeling an onion, layer after layer. We think we've figured it out, or we've overcome something, or we've whatever, but there's always another layer, and we can always go deeper, and it's all for our spiritual growth and development. I mean, it's infinite, right? We're infinite. The spirit world is infinite, and yeah. So there's yeah, it's just infinite. Okay, so these are the other three cards that came, and I here lay them exactly how they came out. So they're telling you that there are things that you don't know. Okay, there's stuff left to be revealed, which is what I was just saying, right? It's like an onion being peeled. It's infinite. Your self-discovery is infinite. Okay, that's what this card is telling me because of the position it's in with this cup turned over. There's things that you are going to discover still, right? And they're wonderful. They're wonderful things. Okay, this is spirituality. The seven is spirituality and seeker of truth, and that's on the emotional and spiritual levels. And so the truth is yet to be completely revealed, or fully revealed, or revealed as much as it can be to you in this lifetime. That's what you're uncovering. You're uncovering the truth of yourself, okay? And the truth is we are perfect and we are imperfect, and everything's in perfect balance and imperfect balance, I guess, too. And so, yeah, they want you to know that you are uncovering the beauty of yourself, the truth of yourself, the perfection of yourself. And that includes imperfection, okay? That includes ugliness. That includes all. That's what they want you to know. So they're saying that you are becoming this Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles does very well in the physical world. She thrives in it, okay? And she does so by understanding the connection between the physical and the spiritual, and understanding this duality here, this between the inner worlds and the outer worlds, between the negative and the positive. I'm going to hold this up. She holds this place where everything is connected, where everything meets, where everything, this bond between, negative and positive, between fear and love, between spiritual and physical, between inner and outer worlds. So she understands this bond, and she understands this connection point, and she holds it, and she lives in this space where she accepts all. Okay, she accepts both, and she accepts all, and that's what they're saying. You're moving toward that. Okay, that's what this is about. That's what peeling this onion is about, getting layer after layer after layer. It's so that you can become this Queen of Pentacles, okay? And relieve this burden where you think you have to be perfect, because you don't, all right? Imperfection belongs. It's, I say it all the time. It's just the other side of the coin. If you want the coin, you have to accept both sides, the tails and the heads, whichever one you perceive as negative, whichever one you perceive as positive. You can't have the coin without receiving both sides, and that's the same with perfection and imperfection. All right, and then this card, I love when this card is in the reverse position, because what that says to me is the two is partnership, and this is emotional spiritual. So I often think of this as a partnership between you and your spirit world. And when it's upright, it's this angel, this temperance. It's the temperance card as well. This angel is pouring blessings from the spirit world into your physical world. Okay, so this is her cup into your cup. But here, when they turn it upside down like this, they're reminding us that we're pouring blessings to them. Okay, we're pouring blessings back to the spiritual world as well, from our cup, from the physical world into the spiritual world. Everything we do, create, feel, experience is for the evolution of the oneness, of the all, of the universe, of the source, of whatever you want to call it, creator. Okay, so we are just as important as they are, and being in human form and quote unquote imperfect is just as important and equal to being in the spiritual perfect form. Okay, so that's what they want to tell you with this card. So they want you to let go of this fear of being imperfect, because imperfect is exactly what you're meant to be in this physical world. Okay, that is the purpose, is to experience it all, and both sides of the coin, and that's a blessing for the spirit world. Okay, you as a human being are a blessing to the spirit world. Okay, you're contributing, you're providing something back to the spirit world. Okay, so blue star, follow the light of your inner compass. The blue star, it will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. So that's here, right? That's related to this card, and that's what this woman knows, and it's going to relieve that burden. The truth that resides within your soul, right, is that everything is perfectly balanced. Everything is imperfectly balanced. Everything is everything belongs. Okay, you belong. All of you, imperfections included. All right, that's what they want to tell you. And then there's one of these cards wants to speak. Okay, what do they want to tell you with these cards? Okay, cut them. Surrender. Look at that. Surrender to knowing. Surrender to this knowing, to this peeling back of layer after layer after layer for your knowing, for your, for the truth, finding the truth. That 7 is about truth seeking. Remember I said, so surrender to the truth of who you are. Okay, the truth of your wholeness. Okay, the truth that you are equal to the spirit world, even while you're in human form. Okay, the truth that you belong, that your imperfections belong, that everything belongs, all belongs. Okay, and there's one more card that wants to come from this deck. Let's see what it is. It's this one, okay? Oh, get creative. Okay. So they want you to get creative. Here, this is going to go over here. So it's about surrendering to the truth to lift this burden. And then, So get creative in how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you see your contribution to the spirit world, okay? They want you to get creative about that. Start seeing your imperfections in a new way, okay? Okay, they're telling me to look in the book for Get Creative because there's something they don't want me to miss in this message. So let's see what it is. Get creative. To be human is to be creative. But it is easy to lose sight of this. Okay, that's what I was saying. Like, we're creating here in the physical world, and that's, we're pouring our blessings of our creation back to the spirit world. There's a purpose for us to be here in physical form, right? To experience all that there is to experience. So to be human is to be creative, but it is easy to lose sight of this, right? And that's when we're seeing our imperfections and dwelling on them and fearful of them. We're losing sight of the fact that we are here to be creative, okay? So from a young age, we absorb cultural stigma around the arts and creativity, that it is impractical and should take a back seat to more lucrative pursuits. But the truth is, creativity brings flow to our life, okay? It finds openings. Without a creative practice, we can easily find ourselves stuck and uninspired. There's so many ways to be creative. You may feel called to rearrange your living space, or write or take pictures. All of these things are great. Creativity is a way of life, not an activity. This card is asking you to look around and see what things inspire you. What do you feel called to create or transform? Think outside the box. Okay, so they're reminding you that the purpose of being human is to be creative, and creativity involves imperfection, right? Yeah, okay, so yeah, like an artist, we hear about this all the time, the artists that they're never finished. They always feel like their work is never finished because they're striving for this perfection, and they always feel like their work is imperfect. But at some point they just have to let it be, or maybe they passed away and couldn't finish it in this lifetime. But the person that beholds it, the person that sees it thinks it's perfect, exactly how it is, even though the artist might think it's imperfect, right? Artists might be judging it and thinking it's imperfect and not finished and not good enough. But the person looking at it, is thinking, wow, this is amazing. And it's perfect, right? And they bring it home because it's perfect. They buy it, bring it home, put it on their wall. So that's, we're here to be creative as human beings. And creativity can be messy. It can be frustrating at times. It can be agonizing at times, but it's all perfect. It all belongs, everything belongs. So, and I'm just called, before I move on from this, this is 18. 1 is new beginnings, 8 is abundance. So when you lift this burden of perfection, of this need to be perfect, when you stop being fearful of being imperfect, you'll have a new beginning, and abundance will occur for you. And then 8 plus 9, 1 plus 8 is 9, which is fulfillment. Okay, so you'll completion, fullness, wholeness, fulfillment, all of those things. So you will experience all of that. So surrender to all of this, okay, and get creative. That's their advice. All right, that's my pile number 1s. I'm going to move on to my pile number 2s now. You guys will have a great day. All right. All right, pile number 2, you chose the black obsidian crystal, which is a protection crystal. Very powerful one. Let's see what you're afraid of. Oh, revenge. Interesting. 23. Very interesting. Revenge. I'm going to go to the book for this one because there's something in the book that's going to tell us something. Okay. So okay, I'm just looking at the book, am seeing what they say. Interesting. There is no white night, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. Interesting. So you have a fear of the dark forces is how it's coming. Yeah, you have a fear of the dark forces. Now, I'm not sure if it's a fear that the dark forces exist in you or the dark forces exist outside of you. Maybe it's in you. Okay, you have a fear of your darkness, your ability to go dark is what I'm hearing. Your ability to go dark, to seek revenge, to be vengeful, to be like when you're wounded, when you're hurt and you're wounded, to strike back. That's what it is. So you have a fear of your ability to go dark, specifically when you're hurt and wounded, and to strike back. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, let's see what they have to tell you about that. Interesting. So what they're telling me is, like, you want to be in the light all the time. You want to be a being of light. You want to be, love, light, joy, all of those kinds of things. But you're afraid of this darker side that we all have. We all have this darker side. Okay. So yeah, this card says you see the potential in you to be light and love and joy and just pure light. But you're fearful, you're cautious, because you understand that you have another side, and we all do. Okay, we all do. So, and the more we fear it, the more it's going to show itself to us. Okay, whether it's showing itself to us in ourselves or from the external world. So, like I said, it's ultimately the fear of your own dark side, but if you're living in love, light, joy, and but you're emitting that, and you're staying on the side of light, but if you're still afraid of the dark side or afraid of your dark side, ultimately everything is in you, right? So it comes back to you. It could come up in you, or it could come up in an external way, right, to show you it. Because the more afraid you are of something, the more it's going to show itself to you, because it wants to be allowed, accepted, loved, instead of feared. Okay, it doesn't want to be feared and rejected and denied. It wants to be loved, accepted, and forgiven, so, and acknowledged. So it'll show itself to you. So that's what we call feeding into our fears, right? The more we fear something, the more we feed into it, and the bigger it grows, and the more we see what we're afraid of. It's it lurks, and it gets bigger and stronger the more we resist it. What do they say? What we resist persists, basically, right? So, all right, yeah. So they want you to, they're wanting you to understand flow. So the balance, the ebb and flow. This is the King of Cups, hearts, right? And he is in perfect flow. And what that means is he accepts all. He understands that there's an ebb and flow. There's a yin and yang. There's a fear and love. There's there's everything in the universe, and there's this. We live in this universe of duality and polarity, and where there's light, there's dark. Where there's fear, there's love, etc. So they're wanting you to move into this place of flow where you accept all. So you accept that darkness exists. You don't have to live in it in order to accept and allow it and forgive it. You don't have to live in it. Okay, so yeah, and that's, oh, look at this, that is shown by these two cards here. So yeah, you don't have to live in it. This card represents grief, sorrow, pain, hurt, all those things, right? This card represents you understanding the emotions that go along with being hurt, okay? Experiencing loss, experiencing pain, the pain of grief. So there's a lot of emotions that go along with being hurt, right? And there's, emotions of being betrayed, emotions of being angry, emotions of being feeling guilty and blaming others. And there's all kinds of emotions, but the main ones are what I just mentioned. So it's betrayal, anger, blame, and guilt. Okay, those are the four main ones that I always see when I think of being hurt and experiencing loss. So if you can accept and allow that these emotions exist, okay, that your emotions exist, and then you can move past them, okay, and you won't go dark, right? So you just have to embrace and allow and accept and acknowledge and forgive and love, okay, all of these quote unquote negative emotions that you might feel when you're hurt, when you've experienced loss of some sort, because that's always what hurts us, right? And that shines the light on it and allows you to move past it. And then this is the Three of Pentacles. So the three is big picture, okay? Big picture, unity, and joy, right? And this is having clarity, big picture clarity on a mental level, right? So that's why this is about understanding the emotions and being able to move past them once you've understood them mentally and shine some light on them mentally. This is about seeing the big picture and understanding how it all works and being successful in the physical world. This card also indicates that you might want to collaborate with others. Others will help you to be successful in the physical world. So embrace that, others have ways, things they can teach you. 33 is the master teacher number. It's the master healer number. So others, working with others, collaborating with others is a great thing for you to heal and teach and learn how to move past the emotions, especially the darker ones that you're fearful of. You know. So yeah, doing this work, work with others, where you heal and learn and eventually teach how to move past these negative emotions, how to accept them. Rejecting them, denying them, hiding from them, being afraid of them is not going to move you past them. So how to shine the light on them by accepting them, loving them, allowing them, forgiving them, and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, that's gonna help you become this King of Hearts and live a more joyful life without fear of the darker side of things. So a woman that I worked with in Vancouver, she is, a teacher, healer person, and she had a time where she was looking at the color. She was feeling fear. Okay, she was feeling fear, and she, her guides asked her what color she saw, and she saw the color yellow, and she was confused because yellow is associated with joy usually, not fear. And so she asked why she was seeing yellow if she was feeling fear, and they said because the root is the same. And what they said to her was, without acceptance there is fear, with acceptance there is joy. So that makes sense to me here. That's why I want to share this with you. With acceptance of all of this potential dark energy that we have. We all have it, right? We all can go dark. We can all go dark, especially when we're hurt and when we're grieving and when we're, feeling that pain of loss, right? We can all go dark. But if we accept it, there will be joy. Without acceptance, there's only fear, right? So the fear you're experiencing is because you're not accepting that these emotions exist. So that's what they're suggesting, that you work with some healers, teachers, may even become a healer teacher yourself around this acceptance of these emotions. Okay, that's what they want you to know about that. And then they have a message for you from these cards. Okay. Oh, look at that. Earth Guide. I love this one. Your sacred calling upon this planet is simply to love and be loved. Period. End of story. So, yeah, don't put so much pressure on yourself to like be perfect and to be always loving and never feeling these emotions, right? You're going to feel these emotions sometimes. Okay, the trick is to learn how to feel them and allow them and then move past them. Um, you're all that you're being called to do is to love and be loved, okay? But part of loving and being loved is loving these emotions and being loved by these emotions, I guess. It's yeah, it's you don't have to be in this state of pure bliss, pure joy, pure love, pure light all the time, in order to answer the calling to that you have to be here, your higher purpose. All you have to do is love and be loved, and that includes loving these darker feelings that you sometimes have when you're feeling hurt. Okay, are these the ones? No, I just okay. They want me to cut these cards, so let's do that. Okay. Well, this one popped out. Is it? Yeah, we can do it. Okay. Release. Yeah. In order to release these emotions, you have to feel them. You have to allow them. You have to respect them is a word that's coming. That's really interesting. When you love, forgive, acknowledge, receive, remember, accept, allow, respect, all those things, all those good things, these emotions, that's how you release them. That's what they want you to know with that card. Okay, now we're going to cut the cards. Oh, versatility. Versatility, that relates to that guy, to what their message there with the flow. The King of Hearts, the King of Cups, and being in flow. So that relates to him. I know that right away. That's why they wanted it on that side. And versatility. What are they saying with versatility? They want me to get something from the book. Okay. Okay, so this says, when this card comes up, you may be coming up against a lot of resistance, whether internally or externally. That's exactly what I said about the fear. Was it internal fear of your internal darkness or external darkness, right? And the fear is the resistance to it. A lot of times we focus on one thing very intensely and push hard despite being shown that the timing is off. Okay, so yeah, you might be trying to move past these emotions or move past some grief or fear, and you're trying to push past it, and that's pushing isn't going to work. Surrender is going to work. Releasing is how we do it. We don't just push past them, because pushing past them is like you don't fully accept, allow, etc. Right? And sometimes it's just timing. Sometimes you have to go through it, and you can't rush it, is what they're saying here. So it says, this card teaches us to be flexible and go along with whatever is being presented to us. That's like this King of Cups here, this King of Hearts. He goes with the flow. He's in flow, right? Rather than trying to force things that are not ready. So if you're not ready to move past these emotions, you're just not ready. That's okay. Yeah, so that's what they want you to know, is it's okay. So part of this being the King of Cups and going with the flow and understanding flow is knowing that it's okay. And if you need to be in these emotions for a little while, that's okay. Don't fear that. It's okay. It's okay to be in these emotions for as long as you need to be in them, and for you to come to accept them and allow them. You can move past them when you're ready to. You'll release them when you're ready to. Okay? Your timing is your timing. It can't be rushed. Divine timing is divine timing. It can't be rushed. So don't get upset or go into fear again, if you're not moving past it in some timeline that you expect or want, because you're in a rush. You can't skip steps in this process, okay? In this healing process. We all want to skip steps sometimes and we want to rush to the end, but there's a lot that happens in the process, so that's of value. All right. So I hope that helps in some way. I hope that that resonated with you, and it helps in some way, and you find the people to collaborate with to help you understand these emotions and work through them and eventually release them. But don't rush yourself, okay? Don't rush yourself. It's okay to be in that space. Look how beautiful she is, It's okay to be in that space. All right. I'm going to move on to my pile number 3 now. You guys go have a great day. All right, pile number 3. You chose the black tourmaline, a protection stone as well. Let's see what you're afraid of. Oh, you're afraid that you're fated to suffer. Whew, that is heavy energy. Wow. Yeah, that is very heavy energy. And look at that. That taking the apple is like, that's like that. What is it? There's a fairy tale about this. Is it Snow White, where she gives her the apple and she eats the apple and falls into a deep sleep, a coma basically. But it also reminds me of that story of Adam and Eve eating the apple, and then humanity suffers forever as a result of it, according to the story. Well, not forever, because Christ comes, and there's a whole thing around that, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But yeah, this apple, which in the Adam and Eve story represents knowledge and self-knowledge and self-awareness, which is interesting that that's what makes us suffer. And in here, she falls asleep and is not aware of anything, and that makes us suffer as well. So it's either way, being awake or asleep, we're going to suffer, right? So that's what you're afraid of, being fated to suffer. Okay, let's see what the guides want to talk about that today, and see what. Okay, are these the cards? I just want to see. Are these the cards? Because these are fantastic cards. Are these the cards? Yeah. Okay. All right. So these are the cards. They just popped right out. Okay. Well, I don't think you're fated to suffer. So, these are beautiful cards. This was upright when I saw it the first time, so it's going to be upright. No, I hear they want it turned. Okay. All right, and there's one more card to come. Okay. Oh, wow. It's 2 cards. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. There we go. All right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I see the picture now. So, fated to suffer. The only way you're going to suffer is if you are not willing to become self-fulfilled, to fill your cup first. Okay, so if this card was turned upside down, it would say that there's opportunities on the spiritual, emotional level coming to you to fill your cup, and to fill your cup so much that it overflows. And this would be all about self-fulfillment and self-love and self, empowerment and etc. But if you are draining, always pouring your cup out, giving to absolutely everybody but yourself, if your focus is on everybody but you, that's when you're going to suffer. Okay, so this is interesting, because remember I said, it's funny how the apple with the Adam and Eve story, self-awareness, self-discovery, self-knowledge is what they said would make us suffer, but they're saying no. Self-awareness, self-knowledge, self-discovery is how you become self-fulfilled, and that's when your cup overflows, and there's a lot of self-love and self-fulfillment here. So it's actually the opposite, right? Self-discovery, self-awareness, self-knowledge, self-love, that's all. You don't suffer when you do that. You suffer when you don't do that, and also the whole falling asleep thing, right? So if you're falling asleep to yourself and you're just going on autopilot and you're not living for yourself and you're just living for others, and you're going through life being asleep, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, you will suffer. Okay. So so they don't want you to do that. Okay, they don't want you to do that. They are telling me that you are a master manifester with this 44. Okay, that's master manifestation. Okay, this is about building a strong foundation, allowing the path in the physical world. Okay, and this is about transformation. This is the death card, which is about transformation. So, death and rebirth. So you can, and then the 44 combined, they came out together. You can manifest whatever you want. Okay, so you can manifest this suffering, right? That, by being so focused on everybody else but you. Or you can do this, which this is the Queen of Pentacles. She holds the space where she understands the bond between the inner and the outer worlds, between the spiritual and the physical worlds. She knows how to manifest. That's why she's the Queen of Pentacles. She does very, very, very well in the physical world. She does not suffer, okay? Because she understands that she's creating. Her inner world creates her outer world. She understands that, okay? And then look at this, the 10 of Pentacles. You couldn't ask for a better card. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful cards. Your heart's desires are manifested in the physical world, okay? Everything you could ever imagine and want. You have the ability to manifest this in the physical world. They're telling you that. There's no need for you to suffer. There's no reason for you to be afraid of suffering, of being fated to suffer. You are not fated to suffer. No one is. No one is. That's what they want you to know. No one is fated to suffer. You have free will, okay? You can choose to suffer if that's what you choose. You can choose to empty your cup constantly and never fill it for yourself and be, always taking care of others and never taking care of yourself and focused on others and not focused on yourself. You can do all of that. You can fall asleep like Snow White, I believe. And you can, or you can see waking up as a burden, like Adam and Eve. That's your choice, okay? But it's not your fate, all right? Your fate is in your own hands. You are a master manifester. You can do whatever you want. And you are this Queen of Pentacles who can manifest your heart's desires because you understand the internal creates the external, okay? So if you're afraid that you're choosing to suffer, that's one thing. But don't be afraid that you're fated to suffer because you're not. No one is. That's very clear. They're making that very clear, okay? So if you choose to suffer, that's okay. You're allowed, right? That's okay too. Don't be afraid of that. You're allowed. But you are not fated to suffer. You are fated to, now I can turn it. You are fated to fill your cup, to be self-fulfilled, okay? To be this Queen of Pentacles who manifests her heart's desire to create this foundation, build this foundation in, this is Master Builder, 22 is Master Builder, this is Master Manifester, but 4 is like, creation, building foundations. So you are fated to build a strong foundation, to transform and to manifest your heart's desires in this world, in this physical world. You are the Queen of Pentacles, and you're fated to be self-fulfilled, okay? And then this ascension, your soul is evolving to higher states of consciousness. You are ready for this, okay? You are ready for this. So don't be afraid of suffering for the rest of your life, of being fated to suffer for this life or any lifetime. You are ascending. Your soul is evolving to higher states of consciousness. You're ready for this. You're ready for this, okay? For this, being the Master Manifester, being the Queen of Pentacles, being self-fulfilled. You are ready for that. That's what they're telling you. You are not fated to suffer. And they keep saying it the same way. You are not fated to suffer. No one is. Okay? That's what they keep saying. Ah, I love this card. The Sovereign. Ooh, yeah, this card makes a lot of sense with this, because remember we were talking about you could choose to be this, what is the word? Selfless person, right? If you choose to be selfless, well, then you will suffer. You could choose to be this selfless person, but they tell me to turn it back up because that's not what you're fated to be. So, or you could choose to, so, you know, we always think about spiritual people and leaders and etc. as these selfless people when they're in the spiritual world, right? But they're saying you can be the sovereign, okay? Which is like this Queen of Pentacles. It's under the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm just going to open the book because it says it so well. Sovereign card invites us to activate the leader, visionary, and enthusiast within us. It is time to welcome in passion and fire while creating structure that allows for you to nurture your dreams, okay? The sovereign creates a container which allows for growth within themselves and others. They approach situations with a no BS attitude and may come across as harsh to some people. Their strong boundaries and opinions may even be intimidating to others, but in reality, it is their way of nurturing. They have no interest in appeasing others simply to keep the others, comfortable. They will continue to push those around them so that they can grow. Okay? The sovereign calls us to create structure from a place of structure. The sovereign knows that the life runs more smoothly, allowing for the manifestation of true success, security, and happiness. Okay? So, what this is saying is you don't have to be a selfless person to be a spiritual person, to be a nurturing person, okay? You can have strong boundaries. You can create a structure around yourself for your growth and for their growth. That's like this cup, okay, for others. You know, you can be the sovereign. You don't have to be the martyr, basically, okay? You're not fated to be a martyr. You're fated to be the sovereign, okay? And then there's one more card that wants to come from here for you. Reclaim. Yeah. Reclaim your power. Reclaim your sovereignty. Reclaim your fate to be self-fulfilled. Okay? Yeah, that card makes so much sense with this. And I want to go to the book again on this one because there's something they're saying. Okay, you were born as a perfectly imperfect human with gifts, talents, medicine, wisdom, and knowing. Growing up in a culture that does not nurture these gifts creates misalignment with our highest truth. Reclamation can be a lifetime process, as it is a continual awakening to the ancient medicine we knew in other lifetimes and soul wisdom. While there is no rule book for the map for this journey, this card calls your attention to what stirs deep inside your soul memory. We are often drawn to places, people, and experiences, music, etc., that we know on a cellular level, but our logical mind may not understand why. This card says, follow your intuition, trust that desire and follow it. Reclaim your knowing, reclaim your power, your medicine and your healing. Enjoy the mysteries and the stories as they unfold. Okay, yeah, so reclaim your power, right? Reclaim your sovereignty. Reclaim your power to manifest your heart's desires, to be self-fulfilled, to ascend, okay? Reclaim it. You are not fated to suffer, and no one is. That is your message, okay? That's what they want you to know, and that's, so there's no reason to fear that you are fated to suffer. You are not a martyr. You were not born to be a martyr. You are not born to, serve humanity in the way that people think, okay? I always say we're not serving creator or humanity. We are in service with, okay? There's an equal partnership there, all right? That's what you need to reclaim, your equal partnership. You are not a martyr. You are the sovereign of your life, all right? You go and have a beautiful day now, all right? Bye-bye.